The first things I do when I wake up is body weight push-ups and body weight sit-ups. These are two things I always do, conjugate of each. You're improving body balance, you're improving core strength, agility, and you're working on a multiple muscles instead of one muscle. Do it in the morning because it produces a lot of energy, a lot of heat in your body. If you do it at night, you will not sleep well. These are primarily focusing on joints, on your ligaments and your tendons, and your mobility. I'm always outside the house, getting fresh air, sunlight is one of my main doctors, I think.
Traditional workout tools trainer, who you might recognize by the name of the Shredded Farmer, bringing traditional Indian fitness forms to the mainstream. Our guest today on the Settle or Be Better podcast is Mr. Nithin Jayaraj, who's going to be talking to us about traditional fitness and old school nutrition as well being. So, welcome, Mr. Nithin, and over to you. Why don't you begin by telling us a little bit about your personal health and well being story and how has it been for you so far?
All right, so traditional fitness, thanks for the introduction. Um, Traditional fitness, I started because of injuries, injuries from lifting weights, injuries from CrossFit, you know. So I got into it because I just saw it was very basic, it was very smooth flow, and the more I tried it, uh, I was getting rehabilitated into it, you know. So I thought, why not? And then I kept going on and going on. It's been like now 14 years now, and I saw the benefits in me, so I thought, why not try and share it with the rest? And I started in 2020 August. Yeah, that's when I started teaching. Yeah.
Amazing. That's really good to know. And it's really amazing to see someone bringing back these practices. It's almost like, some of us might not have even seen it before. So it's really great to have someone introducing us to it. And, just for the audience who probably don't know about it, there will be some visuals when they are watching this episode. But if you can tell us, what is the Great Indian Workout all about? What is it that you're doing? And how is it different from, like, say, weight training or any other form of a fitness regime that someone might go for?
So let's say these are primarily focusing on joints, on your ligaments and your tendons, and your mobility. And the way you started with this is basically it's your weight divided by 8 and then divided by 2. So then the next question asked is why not say divided by 16? But I want to tell people why 8 and then divided by 2. So 8 because back in the days, I'm talking about before technology was even involved. We just started. People were more labor intensive. Okay, so 80 kg person divided by 8 would be he would be carrying a 10 kg mudgar. Okay, he would be able to swing a 10 kg mudgar so freely. You know what I mean? He'd be swinging so freely that that is how healthy they were. But now, because of cars, because of let's say Swiggy, let's say click of a button, people even just don't need to even go get food. They can just call for or click of button, right? So your
True.
labor intensive or let's say your physical lifestyle has much reduced. And so now that's when you say divided by 2. So we have evolved to become weaker. The technology has become better, but we all become weaker. But yes, so now an 80 kg person would be able to swing only a 5 kg mudgar in the start. That's the recommended weight for you. So when you swing this, what happens is it's a gravitational force which is pulling your joints. A 5 kg gravitational pulling your joints. It's not like someone else putting their effort, anything like that. It's a recommended weight for you. So it's very easy on your joints and it gives you the right stretch and flex on your joints. Okay. So
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Understood. And I hope that that introduces our audience to this, and that they also compelled to sort of go to the nearest trainer or to you and reach out to you, and also, like, begin their own, probably try one class or one hand at it and go for it. So that was really well explained. Thank you for that. And, I mean, today there are so many of these workouts and exercises available to us, so many options available to us. How does one weigh with these and then, go for the traditional workouts, and why should we do that? Like, what do we lack in today's weight training or strength training that would sort of, be balanced out when we go for these traditional workouts? And is there something that we are completely, is it like applying better in real life scenarios than you'd say like weight training or just lifting weights in the gym.
Okay. So, I mean, just from out of experience, because I also started my, just I also started my physical fitness from bodybuilding. And I don't blame anyone because you watch from your movies, you see people lifting weights. I grew up in a time where I used to look at Hollywood movies like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, was just high testosterone, very bulky, very strong physiques, where you really get tend to motivate you to join the gym, right? And because you want to be like them. And so there's nothing wrong in lifting weights. It's really healthy. There's nothing wrong, but there's a limit on how heavy you're supposed to go, unless you're going to compete. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're going to keep going to the gym and start doing those diets and lifting, keep on lifting heavy and heavy with light reps, what happens is you're going to grind your joints. At a point, you're carrying more than what your body can do. Okay, that's it. Okay. So that's what you tend to hear people getting muscle tears or very stiff. You've seen someone who doesn't do mobility workout or just weightlifting. They tend to walk like robots. Their mobility is so bad. They can't even touch their back. They can't really do much. When it comes to mobility, the agility level is very low. Yeah. So lifting weights is good, but at the same time, don't go for PRs. Lift weights, build your muscle, because some workouts are meant for just so the benefits of bodybuilding is that you're concentrating on a particular muscle. And that is something
Right.
which you don't get when swinging. Okay. In swinging, you work on multiple muscles. Okay. Okay. Because it improves your body balance. So when it comes to swinging, so this was for swing part. For the swinging part, when swinging the mudgar or the gada or the sunkola, is that you're improving body balance, you're improving core strength, agility, and you're working on a multiple muscles instead of one muscle. All right.
Right.
And what happens is you get more functional. You can use your body, not just aesthetics. You're getting health with aesthetics. All right. So that's the best part about this. And what happened was I knew when I was going to the gym, I was lifting weights, I was looking good. Aesthetically, I was looking really good. But I had no functionality. I was like a robot. I couldn't even climb a tree. When I used to come back to India, I couldn't really climb a tree. I couldn't do much. I was just a robot. You know what I mean? So not really for functionality, but if you look at me, wow, he looks really built, looks good. But if was I healthy? I don't think so because I was always on a diet, on a low carb diet or maybe zero carb diet, no sugars, things like that. So I wasn't really enjoying my food part. But
Hmm.
now I'm eating anything. And what I also want to say is that when it comes to I feel wholesome food is taken very wrongly. They think wholesome food is a cheat meal, where I feel a cheat meal is a diet meal now because you're staying away from carbs, you're staying away from a lot of nutritious stuff, you're staying away from a lot of flavors, and you're eating packaged food, you're eating like I don't know things where you can't where it's not available. You're making it so complicated, and it's making wholesome food like a cheat meal. Yeah. But for
True.
me, that wholesome food is real food, and diet food is a cheat meal because you're getting trying to get aesthetics by doing diet. Yeah,
True.
yeah. So you're staying away from carbs, you're staying from a lot of salts, you're staying away from a lot of healthy stuff. Okay, and yeah, so that's one of the things what really got me to this, and I really don't do diets, and just traditional fitness really helps me do with all this, and the traditional fitness really focuses on eating wholesome food as well. So that's one of the reasons why. Because if you look at it, back in the days, um, I'm talking about my grandma's time. Okay, there was no sugar. There was no white sugar. That time, sweet was fruits. Fruits was your
Hmm.
dessert. Okay, jackfruit, mangoes. These are all natural sugars. There was never white sugar. There was never refined sugar. So these are just things which made people weaker in general. So people created it, and it's killing people at the same time. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And that's true, like you said about bodybuilding. Like, a lot of people who probably, start working out when they're teenagers or in their early 20s, probably just for aesthetic reasons. And I personally felt at some point, like while working out, would this strength really apply in real life? Like, if I'm doing a lat pull down, does it mean I can just, like, do a pull up outside, like hanging on a tree or something like that, right? And I always felt like it's probably not really helping me in real life scenarios. And uh doesn't matter if I'm like lifting like 15 kgs, 20 kgs in the gym, but can I really do it in a different shape, in a different way when I'm outside in the real world, right? So that is very true. That gap is something we need to be bridging, and I think it will be good to have a good blend of both of these forms of workouts, and any other sort of mobility work that you can also do. And coming to nutrition, like you already told us a little bit about it, but to get more into detail, like what is it that really changed your nutrition philosophy, and how, I mean, you told us a little bit about it earlier about how you used to eat before getting into traditional fitness, but what was some changes, like some particular changes you made, and what was something you probably removed out of your life or probably added into your life, and how has it like affected the way you felt, your energy, and your workouts also?
So I came back. So I was Dubai based. I came back in 2019 December, and I sat with my granny, and she's the one who actually taught me about nutrition back in the days. So it's not about qualified or anything. It's just about how they used to. And they used to eat. They never used to buy food. They used to always pick or take it from their own land and they eat. Grow it and they eat. So food was never of left buying. So hence the whole thing about the shredded farmer came because I also live in a farm area and I've seen these people work out. Not work out, they're doing their work, labor work, and they do it from
Right.
morning till evening. And if you ask them, do they have a rest day? They don't really have a rest day. They keep doing what they do every day. And maybe Sunday is a rest day, but still, even on a Sunday, they would still, their activities would be still grounding. They would still walking around. They don't waste it by sleeping. You know what I mean? They don't waste it like by going to the cinema. Hardly, maybe nowadays. But right now, these people can't really waste their money on a cinema. They would rather watch at home. But what I'm trying to say is, so when it came to the nutrition part, she's the one who actually told me about. So honestly, me, I eat food like around at least 70% of my food is what grows over here. Okay. So yeah, so I don't eat any packaged food. I don't have any, let's say, preservatives in my food. It's just straight from the trees or from the ground, from my own land. And let's say, what else? That changed a lot. I stopped sugar completely, as in white sugar. I replaced it with some jaggery or with honey. And other thing which I did was when I did want my sugar cravings, I will not waste it on white sugar. I would have a dessert, proper dessert. Like I love ice
Hmm.
cream, so I keep having ice cream a lot. I do have all your favorite cakes and pastries. Yes, I will not waste it on white sugar. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that is, yeah. So I think that was more worth it. So I took out sugar completely and added a lot of natural food. So I'm a non-veg as well. So I do eat non-veg when I go out and at home as well, but not on a regular basis because the weather here is really hot. So meats and non-veg do create a lot of heat in your body. So I rather stick to more of veg and eat a lot of rice. And another thing which I think many people might not agree with me or might find it disgusting is I eat a lot of organ meat. Okay, so organ meat. Okay, so that is it's densely nutritional. Okay, at the same time it's high in cholesterol. So
Hmm.
only if you work out every day, only if you're going to do a very labor-intensive day, have it. Others have it just once or twice a week max. All right.
Right.
Otherwise, otherwise, I would suggest don't. If you're going to have a desk job, don't eat it because you're just going to build up cholesterol. Okay. But it's highly nutritional. You get all your nutritional stuff in organ meat. Uh, but that is one of my few secrets I would tell you for me, because I don't take supplements. I've stopped
Right.
supplements only back in the gym I used to, but it's been easily more than 6 years since I've taken a supplement. It's all from food. All my nutrition is from food. And touch wood, the irony is that I use wood every day as my equipment, so that's one of the things. But what I'm saying is, uh, I haven't gone to the doctor since then. I felt fresh. I sleep well. I wake up really early. I wake up at 4:30. I sleep by 8:39. So yeah, and I always promote working out these traditional workouts. Do it in the morning because it produces a lot of energy, a lot of heat in your body. If you do it at night, you will not sleep well. So
True.
better do it in the morning. Yeah. That's one of the
Got
yeah.
it. And coming to that, like, can you tell us what is a typical day in your life look like? Like, what have you sort of changed from what your life was before, and some, things that you added to your routine, and but a
So
typical day or a typical week in your life?
so one of the things is very early. I'm up very early, around 4:30. I'm out of bed by 5. Uh, and then I'm out doing the first things I do when I wake up is body weight push-ups and body weight sit-ups. These are two things I always do, 108 of each. Okay. And I've been doing this for quite some time, more than 100 days, or maybe more than a year now. But what I'm trying to say is that when you wake up, your body produces the highest insulin for you to just get up from your bed so you can move. So use that to the max by working out, even before I go use the washroom. That's what I'm trying to say. And then the whole washroom part. And then I go out for my morning walk with my dogs and we walk in the fields. And this is I another thing which I wanted to add as well is I don't wear slippers or shoes as much when I'm at home. I think 90% of the time I'm actually barefoot. So there's a lot of grounding in my recovery. You get straight energy from the ground, from Mother Nature, and it really has good for you. So I avoid wearing any footwear or shoes. Okay. It really helps you in your recovery. It really helps you with your posture, with your knees, because your feet has a lot of pressure points. If you see, if you go to any Ayurveda or any masseuse, they will keep pressing all your pulses or they keep pressing on your feet because there's a lot of pressure points.
Right.
So that barefoot walking on uneven grounds, on stones, it really activates those pressure points. Okay, blood circulation. You won't get flat foot. You'll have a nice arch. You'll have a proper 3 point feet pressure. Okay, it's really good. And you'll get your ankle strong. Yeah, and what happens eventually is your feet. You'll build up such good tendons and ligaments and flexibility on your ankle that even if you twist your ankle, you will get back up and it will not hurt you. So you'll not have that kind of problem. Okay? So being 5:30, going for a walk, 6 o'clock, somehow 6:30, and feed the dogs, keep them back in their cages, their respective cages. 7 o'clock, I start my online sessions. Yeah, 7 to 1 p.m. is my online sessions. I do all my teachings during that time, and 1 to 6, I'm building an app, so I'm working on that. Yeah, I'm working on that, and while I do that, it's a lot of sitting down, right? So I get up and do a couple of swings again because it really stiffs your neck sitting down, and this position really a desk job in general gives you. So I'm always outside the house, getting fresh air, sunlight is one of my main doctors, I think. And yes, by 6, I'm done. Again, the dogs are out till next day, 6 in the morning. And I'm out with my dogs and the cows. Now I have a cow now, a new calf. So milk is always there, but I don't drink milk much. I convert it into buttermilk or yogurt. So I get nice fresh ghee or nice buttermilk on a daily basis. Yeah. That's my daily thing. So 7 to 1 is my work online training. 1 to 2, sorry, 1 to 6 would be my uh, app working, and that's it. And then I'm done. Yeah. And by 8:30,
Okay.
9, I'm off. I'm then already in bed. Yeah. That's a very
Amazing.
simple
That's
daily. Yeah.
Absolutely. That looks like a really compelling routine. And uh, I'm not sure if how many of our, people who are living in the cities or who are having like corporate jobs might be, able to apply many things over here. And I'm sure that you also might be having a lot of clients from the cities, right? Like who are
Yes.
having three jobs. So leaving the nutrition part aside, because that's such a highly debated topic, like, we can just start talking about it. There'll be like so many people coming up with so many other ways to go about it as well. But to go about the movement part of it, because you just mentioned it very well, how you've planned your day around it, and we need to do that ourselves as well, right? Like either it's work from home or we are working from the office. We think that just working out for an hour is enough for the whole day, and then we just go about our day being on the desk or just eating and then sleeping. But the importance of movement throughout the day is like we really, like, it's underestimated, right? So
Yeah.
what can you suggest for our audience who has this long working hours, say like 10 to 12 working hours, and
Yeah.
what sort of thing that can they do, which is probably not that time consuming, but it would have a major impact in their life, on their joint
Yeah,
health, on their muscles, and on their energy.
correct. So a desktop will really get you stiff. You'll have a lot of cervical issues, a lot of neck issues, all these shoulders, stiff shoulders. You must see, after the age of 45, 50, you must have heard a lot of people who can't lift their shoulders higher than the shoulder level. They can only do down, carry, that's it, but they can't push up. Yeah. So this kind of work kind of helps. It's all about rotational movements all the time. Okay, the movements are always being rotational, and like I said, the recommended weight which you use, that is going to push and pull your joints, like stretch and flex your joints. So basically, you'll only use muscle 10 to 20% where you push and pull. Okay, and use the remaining is the momentum. You have to let it go. Once you let go, it's going to swing freely, like like a pendulum. It's going to swing behind your body. It's going to swing like a pendulum. It's going to swing in front of your body. Also, it's going to swing like a pendulum. So that is going to stretch. And what happens is you also have to engage your core and keep your feet rooted to the ground. Because what happens is people say, now, what do you do for your lower body? So my upper body and lower body is, honestly speaking, is very proportional to my height. Because I honestly, I'm only 59 kgs. Okay, 59, 60 kgs. Okay, I might look big because I'm not standing to anyone. The moment I stand to someone, you'll be realizing, oh, this guy's very normal. Okay, he's very normal. He's very this thing because I'm only 5'8". So 59, 60 is my ideal. Yeah. So I'm very normal when it comes to aesthetics. It's just that when you work out, and I do a lot of number of reps. So with the recommended weight, if you do, uh, I always recommend people do 108 reps. Okay. So first try and build reps and sets to reach 108. And once you can do that, your main aim is to try and reach 108 in one shot. Like, how people have this many number of steps in a day they want to do. This way they want to burn this many number of calories. The same way I tell people do this many number of reps. That is your target when you come to these kind of workouts. It will really loosen up your joints. It will really give you a good pump, a good definition. At the same time, you'll never feel stiff. You'll be so nice and loose, relaxed. Okay. So I tell them even you can carry the tool, even if you have your own office or things like that, or your own cabin. Do your work at the same time. If you feel stiff, get up, swing a bit, come back and sit on your job. No problem. It's really going to open up your joints. It's one of those things where I keep telling people, spend at least the only you only need. I know now my clients have started with me, and they themselves can actually feel the difference, and they also know at first to do 108. It took us around, let's say, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but now they can do it in under 3 minutes. Okay. So
Wow.
that's all it takes. So I'm just saying, spend 15 to 20 minutes over time. That's all you need. Just give for your joints, for your health. Otherwise, all that money you make on that desk will always go to the hospital just for the week. So I'm glad you're making money so you can go to the hospital later. But if you don't do that, if you don't spend that 10 to 15 minutes for yourself, um, yeah, like I said, health is wealth, you know what they say? But all that wealth will go into your health. So don't this thing, yeah. Just a few things. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that makes a
That,
lot of sense. Like, taking those little few minutes break between your work, between your calls, and, doing this movement or anything else, because we just, like recorded in another episode as well with the brain researcher, and how he speaks about, not just for your joints or not just for your body or the stiffness, but how it can have a major impact on your brain health as well when you're giving these little movement breaks for yourself.
yeah,
And it's a great brain gym in itself when you're, doing all of these things, like, or even including cross body movements and these little things that don't even take that much time or that much effort. So
right.
I'm sure that these are some things we can certainly include in our lives, and it's just a matter of setting up a little reminders and being more conscious about it. And
Exactly.
another last question I'd like to ask you is that I'm sure this is the question that a lot of young guys watching this might be having, that does it really work if they want to build muscle, if they want to aesthetically build muscle in a way that their goal is, like you said earlier.
Yeah, so aesthetically, yes, you'll get very proportional muscles to your height. Okay, because what happens with bodybuilders or muscle gains is that when you have too much muscle gain, you're also restricting your mobility. Yeah. So if you have big shoulders or big, so you're restricting your shoulders for moving back, the flexibility. But this, what's going to happen is, and also the other funny part is when I have a lot of ego clash with bodybuilders who lift heavy. The reason is that I say like now September I have a workshop in the UK, October in Goa, and November in Hyderabad. But in UK when I went even the last time, I was showing these boxes, really big boxes, really sculpted boxes, and I gave them a 3 kg mudra. They couldn't even do what I was doing. They found it so hard. They finding it so hard. They were like, man, this is something else. This is something new to them. You know what I mean? And it really rehabilitated them. It really gave them a lot of mobility because these are called a rotator cuff for a reason. It was meant to rotate. It was not meant to push and pull. You have to rotate it. That's why it's called rotator cuffs. Same thing with the hips. It's meant to rotate it. You're not supposed to just go up and down or something. You have to rotate it. So I always um, so I stopped lifting weights, honestly speaking. I'm more of lifting own body weight. So I like doing calisthenics because you're making the maximum use of your own body with your own body weight. Lifting yourself, pulling yourself, pushing yourself, all that happens with calisthenics. And even it really improves, same thing even with swinging. It really improve your alignment. It will improve your I've even rehabilitated a lot of people who had alignment problems, a lot of people
Hmm.
who have a slouch, posture, and even people who have had accidents and they have an operation they couldn't move. I've even fixed them up with this because you're having a gradual uh, organic weight pulling and pushing your joints, so automatically you get aligned to your height.
Right.
It does magic in this thing, and it's all about not even taking medicine. It's not about just putting in that effort to get better. That's all. No medicine, no supplement needed. You know? Yeah,
Absolutely. And true in terms of alignment, I mean, a lot of people, even some of my friends who are into weightlifting, that issue is always there. Like even they'll experience usually they'll experience aches and pains at one point in their body, to one side of their body, because they're probably doing something wrong and
yeah,
they haven't fixed it over the years. And that's such a common thing. Like it's always at one right side or left side that is always coming in and, telling you that it is hurting, but
yeah.
you're not doing anything about it. And
Exactly. You have to listen to your body. Yeah,
true. And also, mastering your body weight is something that we are all missing out. I think, like, if you're doing just strength training, just weightlifting in the gym, because we
yeah,
don't know how, like, tough or challenging it can get as well. Because we feel like, body weight movement is fine just in the beginning, like 1 or 2 months when we begin weight training for the first time, and we sort of leave it behind. And then we are all focused on weights and, lifting heavier and more reps and more sets. But that gets
yeah.
left behind. So it's true that giving more importance to that would equally benefit our fitness and mobility in a lot of ways. Can
Exactly,
you be
because
sharing?
everyone's focusing on strength and conditioning, but I keep telling them you need strength conditioning with mobility as well. You know, you
True.
can't walk around like a robot because that's what makes us different from a robot. Because we can move, and they don't have rotator cuffs. They don't have it. So the best part is that we make robots, and finally we end up being like them. So, you know,
True.
but another thing is that even foot health is very important. It really comes into recovery. So for me, I'm really away from a lot of. So there's another few questions which I get is, what is your recovery? Because I keep doing around 10,000, easily 10,000 reps a day because I have clients and I keep pushing them. I do it with them and I train by myself. So how this is like my target. Like here, how we have 10,000 steps, for me it's 10,000 reps. That is my ideal. So, uh, so my lifestyle right now, I really don't meet much people, and it's just animals and grounding and good food. So that itself and good sleeping. So that itself gives me a lot of good recovery. And even when using technology, so what I'm trying to say is there's not much of Wi-Fi all the time. There's not much of, look, right now I'm using Bluetooth and stuff, but there's a lot not electromagnetic fields that
Hmm.
really take up a lot from your recovery as well. Okay, so I'm with lots of lush and green, and that itself blocks a lot of electromagnetic fields from me. So my recovery is always good with the thing.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
those are
in the
big things.
city, we are most of the time we are working completely against our circadian rhythm. We're not getting the sun. We are exposed to white light at night or right before our sleep. We're doing everything wrong to sort of
Yeah,
make our body not sleep, and then complaining why aren't we sleeping well, and why aren't we able to do give our best energy in everything we do. So these are
yeah,
really simple things, and no matter how many times they get said, they'll always be forgotten somewhere or the other with the more complicated stuff. But I'm sure that if we can be more conscious about it and start these little things,
yeah,
being more conscious of these little things in our lives, it'll take
yeah.
us a long way. So thank you for sharing
Yeah,
that with
exactly.
us.
Yeah, so that's a big thing. So even if you like I said, in a flat, let's say in a place like Bombay, which closely a lot of flats next to each other, even if you turn off your Wi-Fi, your phone can still find the other person's your neighbor's Wi-Fi, which just shows that much radiation still there. You know what I mean?
True.
So it's still there. Yeah. So yeah. So then for me, I don't have all that issue because it's just me over here. So there's no one next to me and this thing. So that makes a big difference with my growth and even the plants and anything over here, the food and everything. It's a big difference with all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's
And
the
if
thing.
you
Yeah.
can share something, some experience from your city clients, that what are some things that they probably started including in their lifestyle? I mean, of course, they were working out with you, and in terms of nutrition, also they might be doing some changes. But probably how they wake up, how they spend their weekend, or how are they getting outdoors at the right time? What are some of these changes that they might have implemented and being in the city and have brought about some changes in their lives?
So some who really didn't like to work out now really love and look forward to this kind of working out because I try and get their attention. I try and get their, I try and make them at least work out. You don't need me. You can just go work out. Just try and make them moods. People have even got more productive. People can even productive with their work. It's just that a lot of stress gets gone with this. And when you do this kind of workout, there's a lot of mind and body coordination. So you can't think about an email when swinging this. It will hit you and call you back saying, listen, you can't think about it, come back. Like you can't focus about an email. You can't focus about a missed call. You can't think about any reminders while doing this workout. So you're mentally focused over here. So it is, I wouldn't say meditative, but you can't think about anything else when doing this. Yeah, you have to think about this. That's the thing. A lot of mental coordination, mind and body coordination. That's the beauty of this. So when you do a workout with mind and body coordination, your brain really gets an exercise as well because it's really focusing on this. Otherwise, you will get hit, and you don't want to get hit with a solid piece of wood. So it will this thing, yeah, it will call you back. That's one. And another thing is, yes, one thing I've seen is I have clients who always come back. They try it by their own, they do it, but then a lot of social and external factors make them lazy. So then they come back for a push. You know, that's the only thing. So I keep telling them, listen, I'm here only to push you and guide you, but the 90% of that is all you. You showing up is you, like, you know what I mean? So that itself is a big deal. They wake up at 7, they come to class online, and I'm making it so convenient for them that that equipment itself is enough. Just that one equipment will change your life when it comes to health. You know, you just need, and it's wooden. Wooden is very organic. Wood has its own medicinal value. Every wood has its own medicinal value. The oils get exchanged when you work out with it. This thing. So I'm not saying maybe it can cure, but it can surely prevent a lot of things, a lot of illnesses.
True.
Yeah, it's organic and it doesn't. It has nothing bad for you. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, just a lot of oil. So that's why always encourage bare hand training with these kind of workouts because you have oils exchanging with you and the equipment. Yeah, it's very holistic.
Amazing.
It's yeah.
Absolutely.
It's,
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. And as we come to the end of our episode, do you have any last messages or thoughts to leave us with?
oh yes. Uh, Aesthetics is a byproduct of health. Okay, so focus on your health. If you don't give at least 10 to 15 minutes of that, trust me, all your wealth will go for health later. Okay, so and don't do
True.
diets. Wholesome food is the real food. Diet food is the cheat food. Diet food is only for people who are really sick, who have not, who have crossed the lines like diabetic or cholesterol, things like that. Now we have reached a stage where you really have to have the diet food. Otherwise, wholesome food is the real food. Diet food is not. That is cheat meal for me. I would say that is a cheat meal because you're to trying to get aesthetic. because you want to reach your target faster, only because of looks wise. Just to lose
Hmm.
inches, you'll do it for some time and then you'll go back to missing no. So eat, workout, and sleep. All three make it in the right uh, proportion, always. Yeah.
Amazing. That's a lovely message. And there will be the links to your website or Instagram profile. And probably if people want to shop for the equipment or book classes with you, they'll find the links in the details below. I hope that they do reach out to you. They do learn more from you about traditional Indian fitness. But is there anything that you'd like to give a shout out about, like any workshops or anything else that our audience can reach out to you for?
So I have a workshop in Hyderabad in November. Uh, it is in a studio called Adhika Yoga. It's in Jubilee Hills. That is one in November. Those who are interested, please come. And the other one is in Goa. It's in a boutique villa. It's called Turiya Villa. It's in South Goa. That's in October. So there's only very limited spots left, maybe just two or three. So that's in October, October 26th to 23rd. It's a proper retreat. It's a proper boot camp. You really put your health to a test. Yeah, I would.
Right.
So yeah,
Amazing. Lovely. I hope that our audience do reach out and do learn more about this from you. Thank you so much, Mr. Nathan, for being
you're
on our
most
podcast
welcome.
today. It was really amazing to have you here.
Thank you.
That's it for today's episode. I am Sakshi Pawar and I'll be your host for the Settle or Be Better podcast. So stay tuned while we bring more inspiration. You know the drill. Subscribe to the Settle or Be Better podcast, like, share, and comment on our videos. And oh, hit the bell icon because you don't want to miss the mind boggling health discussions we're about to bring for you. Why settle when you can be better?